NBA champion Festus Ezeli. I am Bonte Hill. It got chippy. Warriors rallied from a 15-point deficit, but give that young Kings team credit. They did not lay down, and Devin Carter had the game of his life, and they go out and beat the Warriors and even up the season series at 2 games apiece.
Bonte, I did not expect in Game 81, Sacramento Kings versus Golden State Warriors to be this exciting, okay? The excitement was more because of the chippiness between both teams. You called it the battle of the I-80 before the game. That's exactly what this was, okay? It was a mess there in the third quarter. I thought the Warriors they tried to find a way emotionally to get back into this game. It got physical, but I thought the Warriors, after losing the first half to the Sacramento Kings, I thought they came out in the third quarter. You know, the biggest thing about the first half was Steph Curry's injury. You know, he looked like he twisted his knee. The Warriors were trying to figure out if he could play. We were trying to figure out if he could play the rest of the game. He toughed it out, looked much better in the third quarter, got the team moving. I thought Brandon Podziemski played an incredible game today. Him, Devin Carter, emotionally involved in the game. But the third quarter gives you sparks of what the Warriors could be. I mean, they won the third quarter 38-19. That's a spark of what the Warriors could be, and hopefully the Warriors can bottle it up and do it for longer spurts.
How would you say this dress rehearsal went for the Golden State Warriors?
Well, this was a rough game to watch, but as expected. This is the first time.
Rough but exciting.
It's rough but exciting. The Warriors, this is the first time they've been fully healthy. And for the first game back, you're trying to hope that they can get things together for the playoffs in a couple games, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard task to do.
Very eventful evening. But you have to go back to the last game that the Kings and Warriors played at Chase Center when they had a questionable foul on Seth Curry. They were up 1 with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left, and they took a foul on Seth Curry, who's an 86% foul shooter. Draymond Green, post-game, talked extensively about what a mishap that was, that they should be fined. So there was a lot of emotion coming into this game. Doug Christie was talking to Draymond, and we talked pregame. Is there someone on that bench that's going to no, but if there was 5 Doug Christies, something would happen. Well, Devin Carter ran through a Draymond Green screen right through his chest, got a flagrant 1. GP2 checks in and sets a flagrant screen on Devin Carter. And Devin Carter basically became a punching bag for the whole evening. And now he answered the call. He had played a great game. They were going at him physically. The Warriors were down 12 at half.
Yep.
As Fezzi said, 38-19 in the third quarter, go up 7. And then the Kings, as you said, but they did not lay down.
Yep.
This team averages just over 10 made threes per game.
Yep.
They made 17. They were playing free and
Yep.
I think they were motivated to try and get a W and stand up for themselves individually. So give them credit. As far as what the Warriors can take from this, it was a scattered performance at best. And I almost said pregame because we knew something may happen. We talked to Drapes and Mo before the game. They thought no. But I was going to mention from the Warriors, the one thing I want to do is keep my composure, be above that fray. The Kings are going home. You're going to play in the postseason. So they've got one more game with the Clippers. I didn't see a whole lot that I would carry over.
Right.
The main thing, look, Steph did get injured, came back in the game, which is a positive.
Right.
But as far as rotations and flow of the game, it was pretty funky.
No, it was choppy tonight.
The only thing I'll take away from this game is Brandon Podziemski had 30 points. I thought he was unaffected by all the other extracurricular activities that were happening tonight. I thought he was focused on this game, and he's been focused for the last couple months.
Yeah, 7 of his last 10, he scored at least 20 points. Play for the Golden State Warriors, but let's revisit the Steph Curry injury because he ended up playing 27 minutes in 16 seconds. But we were very concerned early in the first quarter, 3 minutes and 17 seconds into it. Steph Curry knees, buckles there, just clipped Devin Carter right there. They bang knees right there. And we saw Steph Curry limp off the floor, and we thought, boy, Steph done for the night. Is it worth playing him the rest of the night, knowing that you're locked in to the 10th spot? But Fezzi, as you mentioned, it's a good sign that he ended up playing 27 minutes tonight.
Man, this is just toughness right here, Bonte. You're a superstar. I think the Warriors team, this is a tough-looking injury.
Oh,
ankle, knee, everything right here. And you're worried when Steph goes down. Because if Steph goes down, everything that we're talking about the play-in, about the postseason, whatever hope, it's all gone. And everything is riding on the fact that Steph is going to be healthy and he's going to play alongside Kristaps Porzingis. That's what you're looking forward to seeing tonight. Steph has that injury, and he toughs it out. And he doesn't want to sit down because when you have an injury like that, when you sit down, it stiffens up on you. So I thought he played through it, he kept it warm. And that third quarter was a welcome sight because when he was able to sit for a little while and he came back in the third quarter, he looked good. He was running around. He was making assists. At first, he didn't want to stop. It looked like he was really struggling getting up and down the court. But after seeing him move in the third quarter, it's going to be interesting to watch how he rests tonight moving forward to the next.
Celebrini, back and forth, and Steph and Rick decided he was okay to go in. So it seems like the injury was eliminated. I thought the next 4 to 5 minutes, very limited in his half-court movement and motion. A lot of times he stood up at half-court, really just took himself out of the play and let the team play 4-on-4. But he did get his 26 minutes in. That's a positive. If there was any risk of injury, he would not have been in that game.
No doubt about that. All right, let's revisit the third quarter here for the Golden State Warriors when they did flip this basketball game. Again, they were down 12 at the half. The Kings had a 15-point lead in the second quarter, but the Warriors came out like gangbusters. And yes, it got chippy, which we'll show in just a second. But they outscored the Sacramento Kings 38-19, taking a 7-point advantage into the final frame. Fezzi, you saw some good ball movement. That's Steph Curry right there with a nice pass. Draymond Green playing a little tic-tac-toe, and GP2 with the finish right there.
Yeah, the ball movement was the biggest thing I took away. In the first half, both quarters combined, 13 assists. The third quarter, 12 assists for the Warriors. So that ball movement is going to be key. Understanding placement, exactly where Steph is going to be. I thought they did a better job kind of moving and flowing in the Warriors offense. It looked more like the Warriors offense. Where Steph is cutting, he's getting double teamed, guys get free, whether it's Draymond or it's GP2, they get those plays. Weak side shooters are active on those courts, or you have post splits. These things are all options the Warriors can play through, but it seems like it can only happen in spurts for the Warriors right now because they're all still kind of getting used to each other, all the guys getting healthy.
Yeah, on a night where both teams, it was a very choppy game, but the Warriors get 30 assists. They shoot 48% from the field. They make 14 threes. They go 26 of 28 from the free throw line. So to me, you can see where they can be really effective. And the thing with Porzingis, Steph can always get a shot, late shot clock. Porzingis is another guy. If your offense breaks down, you can really get the ball in his hands and just get out of the way because he's going to be able to shoot over the top. So they did some good things. It's just the shenanigans kind of got in the way of really dissecting what was really going on out there. Some good performance. I thought Al Horford looked pretty good. So, again, who knows who plays Sunday? But you can see on even the night where they weren't clicking, they put up some pretty impressive numbers offensively.
We'll get to KP and Stephen Curry, how they look together a little bit later in the program. But the game within the game tonight, we talked about this in the pregame show. Could there be some carryover from what happened Tuesday night at Chase Center or some of the shenanigans after? Remember, the NBA investigated the Sacramento Kings Wednesday afternoon, and that's where it started right there. Maxine Reynaud, Draymond Green. You had the screen coming up here with Devin Carter and Draymond. And Doug Christie was dapping people up. Here's GP2 and Devin Carter. That's where GP2 picked up the technical. You see right here. Luckily, that wasn't reviewed. Now, GP2 ended up getting ejected in the game. But you had them wrestling for the basketball. But really, what really sparked this game within the game, Fezzi, was when Devin Carter ran through a Draymond Green screen. And then later on in the quarter, GP2 runs through a Devin Carter screen. And that's when really the shenanigans started in that third frame.
Well, really, the way this whole thing started was Draymond comes down and sets a tough screen on Devin Carter. And that screen doesn't get called. Devin is complaining, saying this could be a foul. So the very next play, he looks at Doug Christie. Doug Christie says, run through that thing. So the next play, he runs through Draymond's chest. That causes a scurry, and then the next play, GP2 comes into the game, and GP2 runs through that. So it just became this back and forth issue. And for the Warriors, I think the Sacramento Kings coming into this game, being called out by Draymond, that's something that every player has pride in this league. And so they come into this game feeling like, he called us out, we have to respond. And these young players, they're still trying to find their ways in the league. And a guy like Devin Carter, good young talent in the NBA. I love his fight tonight. He came into the game, brought a lot of fight for the Sacramento Kings.
Literally.
Dude, 29-9-4 for Devin Carter.
Yeah.
Made 6 threes, Mully.
No, he's a good player. I watched him in college at Providence. He's a tough player. dad, long-time NBA player, NBA coach Anthony Carter. So he's a tough player. He did not back down. He stepped up for them. And as you said, Bonte, we talked pregame with Drapes and Mo, and I was thinking, is there anyone on that roster that's going to stick up for some? And it wound up being Devin Carter. And I think one of the reasons it stuck out, in today's NBA, everyone switches screens. You know, he was fighting over the screen or through the screen. You know, I thought it was a fair call. GP2, same thing. They got a little physical. But I do think coming into this game, we all knew what had transpired a game ago. The ref should have been a little bit on high alert.
Absolutely.
Because it carried on. It just went on and on.
It's getting out of control there. Tony having a great day at the office at the Golden One Center.
Bonte, aren't you glad that you came back?
Once again.
Aren't you glad that you came
I'm
back?
fired up.
You would have been losing your stuff, my home.
I'm fired up. Tony Brothers, yeah, it would have been bad. It would have been bad. But that Devin Carter screen, remember he runs through Draymond Green. Doug Christie starts clapping.